Hi guys. Oh man. Spirit keeps having me just fire up these videos without much thought to my appearance, which is a really big thing for those who don't know me. I wouldn't even go to the store without makeup uh, and whatever, but this morning I was thinking, I woke up with some really heavy energy, and I thought to myself, maybe I'm not the only one. Maybe there's somebody out there that can resonate with this. And so, what has been really like on my mind, on my heart, is learning like who I am. Because I've had this feeling of, I want to be my authentic self. What does that mean to be authentic? That means, for me, it means to speak my truth, to drop the people pleasing, not in all of a sudden an unkind way, but not in a way that, um, not in a way that is a detriment to myself. You know, I've been saying lately that, I want to come into 2026 as with a mantra of I show up for me. I show up for me, which doesn't mean that I won't show up for friends and family and the collective or whatever, but I feel that like showing up for me is also showing up for others in some sort of like a ripple, I'm hoping. So, the reason I wanted to do a video this morning is I was hanging out with some really, really special friends yesterday, and we were doing like a little private little healing group that we've got going. And before the other two arrived, my very, very good friend said, I just want to, before I forget, let you know how proud I am that you are doing these videos. And the shock on my face was like, really? Uh, Thank you. Because the self-doubt can come on, like this default of self-doubt, and um, the defaults of, oh, you're just being silly, and oh, really, what do you have, to offer, and like all these things. And it, maybe it wasn't even so much the content of the videos, but just the fact that I am doing it. I am working on being seen, as my authentic self. The other thing, really, that I wanted to share was the other morning I did some automatic writing, and that morning, I said a prayer because, like I mentioned, I've been waking up with some pretty heavy energy. And the heavy energy is, what is my future going to look like? Like, am I just fooling myself? Uh, you know, uh, I don't know that my life has ever been exactly how I want it to be. And nor maybe will it ever be that way, because we're always constantly and continually growing, but the doubt of, am I doing something wrong? Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Maybe I should have done this. Uh, that default of somehow I'm wrong, and somehow my future is bleak, and that is not the true essence of who I am. That is not who my authentic self is. My authentic self is the essence of me, and the essence to me means my soul. What did my soul come down here to do, to experience? And that's a lot of things. And I started to think about this automatic writing because I did this prayer and I was like, just give me a message, you know. And who am I talking to when I pray to that? I'm talking to spirit, I'm talking to my guides, I'm talking to my angels, I'm talking to my deceased loved ones that are, you know, uh, I feel I'm, you know, some guardian angels of mine. You know, I'm just like, come on, you guys, give me a sign, give me some hope, give me something. And so I went into like this meditative state, took a few breaths. You should try it one time. And I just started to write. And what came out was something I thought was very beautiful and really something I knew, but it seems like I just have to be reminded a lot. And I think that that is not an unusual thing. I think probably most of us know a lot, but need to have these confirmations and these reminders because we forget, you know? So I'm writing, and what's coming out is the unknown. You know, the unknown can be scary or it can be exciting. I get to choose. What also came out was something that I had heard, and that is intuition, which is, you know, you're feeling your gut, that knowing that we had that can come on us really, really strong, is always 100% of the time equally coupled with courage. And when I first heard that, I was like, that just made me feel so good, you know, because I've often said, like, okay, if I get these intuitive hits or I get this idea or this inspiration or whatever, am I going to have the courage to actually like follow through with it? So back to the writing part, you know, this part comes out in a reminder of hearing this. And then the analogy that was given to me in this automatic writing was that it's sort of like when you're standing at the edge of a pool, okay? And you're like, oh, the water's gonna be cold, I'm in my bikini, it's gonna hit my belly, you know, like, you know, kind of like a wuss, right? But you really, really, really wanna be in the pool because you're hot and you just wanna get cooled off or whatever it is, or your friends are in there playing. And so the analogy was like the intuition is to jump in, just go for it, right? And coupled with the courage of just take the plunge, just do it. Don't put your big toe in and then, oh, look around and see like, oh my gosh, it's cold, it's this, it's that, it's gonna be uncomfortable, my hair. That was a big thing for me. Is there chlorine? Is my hair gonna get all, you know, crazy green with the bleach? You know, just all of these things that when we do want to take a plunge in life or start something new, it's like all of those fears jumping in a pool. Obviously, they're going to be different. Like, am I going to be seen? Is my content going to be useful? Do I really know what I'm saying? Do I really, you know, just on and on and on. I don't have to go into all that too much because I really do feel like you know what I'm saying. So you take the plunge, right? You go, okay, like, I'm doing this. And you take the plunge, and all of a sudden, like, it takes your breath away because it is such a shock. Like, I really did this, you know, like I really, really did this. And at first you could like be flailing around, a little panicky. But what came to me was there's also then another choice that we have, that I have. I can continue to be panicky and flail around and splash and not trust that I'm safe and make all of these decisions, grab onto somebody, maybe bring them down with me, um, all of these things. And I can then be extremely exhausted and then finally come to the realization that I just need to relax, that I'm okay, because I've taken plunges many, many times in my life. Or I can take the plunge, I can feel the shock, and then I can go right into relax mode. Maybe lay on my back and float and go with the flow and see, what comes to me naturally, and relax and get my nervous system back in check. Start with acceptance. I've taken the plunge. I feel like I just saw like a white light shoot across the screen. I don't know if y'all saw that. Anyway, and so I thought, I can't be the only one who sort of learns through analogies. I just love analogies. And so there are a lot of things that I want to start in 2026. There are things that I feel are part of the purpose of why I'm even down here on this planet, on this, this third rock from the sun, right? And that is partly to share what I've learned throughout the years. I was first attuned to Reiki in 2001. I mean, that's a long time. I've gotten so in tune with allowing the energy from spirit to move through me and out my hands and through my heart, and just in so many different ways that I feel very, very comfortable with that. I have a lot of trust with that. And it's a beautiful thing. After a Reiki session or, moving energy in any way, or maybe channeling a message while speaking with someone, and I just feel that feeling is my purpose. And I want to bring more of that, to the collective. And some days I'm like, I don't know, like I'm that person flailing around that maybe has taken the plunge, on any given day. Because, taking a plunge into a pool of unknown is like, it's a daily thing. It's not like a one and done. It's like a keep doing it. It's a keep doing the plunge. It's a keep having the faith. It's, I mean, we don't take one shower one time in our life and expect to be clean the whole time. No, it's something that we have to keep doing. And I do learn by analogies, and apparently Spirit knows that. And I wanted to share that from my heart, practicing taking the plunge in being authentic, and not acting like every day is butterflies and rainbows. And some days feel like that. Sometimes when I do these videos, I'm just like, I'm feeling so good and I just want to share it, and that's great too. But I feel like it can also be very powerful if I come from a place of, some days I don't know. Some days I don't know. And the other thing that was revealed to me through I have a personal coach, and also I was reminded that thus far in my life, I've never known what is going to happen specifically. Like, there's some part of me that wants to know for sure that it is going to be 100% okay, that I'm absolutely going to have, you know, everything figured out and it's all going to work out perfectly, you know. I've never known that. And let me tell you, I have had some amazing, amazing things happen in my life. I have beautiful, beautiful people in my life. I have support. I have love. Um, and not everything is perfect, you know? And so going forth into today, into tomorrow, into 2026, knowing that there is a plan out there for me, there is a plan out there for you that we do not see clearly, right? But every day, if we can just take that plunge and connect, dig into our toolbox. What's in our toolbox? Meditation is in our toolbox. Breathing is in our toolbox. Movement is in our toolbox. Nature is in our toolbox. Calling a friend is in our toolbox. I could just go on and on and on and on, right? And so I reached into my toolbox this morning and I had to do like 5 things, you guys. I had to journal. I went on a walk. I have a vibration plate. That really works. Like, thank you to my daughter that got me that. You know, I had to like freaking shake it out or something. And all of that is okay, you know? And thank God we have each other. Thank God. Thank you, God. Anyway, I love you from my heart to yours. All the love. Oh, and I pulled tarot cards. I pulled angel cards. Sorry, I guess I'm not quite done. I pulled angel cards. And it said, like, in these little instructions of different like readings that you can do, if you need some direction, pull 2. And I had wisdom, which talked about get to know yourself. Like, what are your shadow aspects? What is it that you need? Like, get to know yourself, the wisdom of who you are. And then the other was, guess what? New beginnings. So I was like, okay. And that's when I got my ass up off the couch and I went on a walk. So anyway, here's to wisdom. Here's to new beginnings. Here's to support and support for ourselves and being okay for the true essence of who we are. All right. Love you. It's December 29th. I've got a couple more days of this year, and then here's to new beginnings. All right. Take care.